Hey guys, it's me Mabani Kodosila. I would like to take you through to the live trade that I have taken on gold. And I will just share how I anticipated this move, because since last week I saw that it was going to be bearish, and then I gave out the flash cut on my anticipation, and it plays out in a way that I was expecting. So if you had to take a trade today, you will first identify the Friday's candle and its high. Here's our high of Friday, and then we will have to also identify the low of Friday. Now remember that our market is bearish, and what do we look for? We look for the market to move from the high to the low of the day, meaning once you have identified the high of Friday, which is the previous day, and then the low, you have to look for what you call London open on Friday's New York session. And then remember, I said we look for 14-hour candle. Here's the 14-hour candle. Now we have to go to look for order blocks, and this is OTE, guys. This is how you identify OTE in a bearish scenario. This is 14-hour, the high of New York. Let me outline the high of New York. This is where I'm going to put in my Fibonacci from, and then the low of New York open, it is this one. I will also adjust it. Here's the low on this week. Now I identify my order blocks. Here's the order block that is responsible to take the market to drop, this green candle. Now we have to look for another candle, the green one, which is this one, and then we also identify it, and then look how closer it is to previous week, as this line is, it represents previous week low, meaning the week of let me go to a time frame and then bring back the this week slow. This is how I got the entry on that candle. And also, since I was identifying the order block, we have this green candle, then I'll just assign my order block indication. Then we will see how I place my Fibonacci from the low of New York open, from the high to the low of New York open. Now if you did this, you could have had the sniper entry, and that sniper entry with OTE, and use the wick of that candles as your stop loss. Now I did give in the market values where you could have taken that trade. Let's see, where is that trade? It was 17.59, and we'll also rectify where did I give people to take that trade at. I'm still looking at that picture. It was 17.60. Then if you did place your what you call the pending order, because most people put in pending order, it was going to be on 60 for sniper entry. And then I want to see where it lands. It misses with a slight for an entry, but my stop loss is very clean because it's on 177.8. I will also adjust it to show you where I put in my stop loss, 78. My stop loss is very clean, guys, for this trade. And then I'm already in big profit now, as we have that drop. And then we could have had an ammunition entry and use the sniper entry as our stop loss. And also on tank we could have taken a trade and also put in the stop loss on ammunition, as we have this market play into our anticipation on this one. I'm targeting gold, guys, because it was only the pair that was playing along from the previous week that I was anticipating, and then I'm expecting this market to drop below to let me see if they call I'm expecting them to take this lows, which will be our last target. These zones, I'm willing to hold this pair, guys. I'm not going harder on it. I'm just trading based on what I see, guys. I have 3 trades that are still running on that pair, and I'm not going to trade any pair beside this one to save to keep trading, not to over trade. And then this is how we are with this trade, guys. Hope you enjoy this one, guys. After that rinse, we had the wash move. Then it was after the New York Open, then we had a spin move, opening of the market up until to our sniper zones. Then it gave us an entry, and I was early on that trade. And since I saw the rejection on this candle and just on a previous week low, just on it, we could have used previous week low as our stop loss, not that one that I've shared, but it was very clean, guys. Hope you enjoy. I only wanted to share this live trade with you guys on gold. This is how I trade, guys, on a daily. Let me just make another example on how we identify those. Like on this structure, you first identify the high of the day, and then also the low of the day. It was on Tuesday previous week. Then I will take the market to that structure, and this was our last week as entry on Tuesday. If you could have went to take that trade, and then let me zoom it out so that we could have that structure. Lock the structure. Now it was where is my, here we are, the low of the day and the high of the day, as I have outlined there. And then this is Tuesday's low of the day, and then this is Tuesday's high of the day. And then how are we going to take a trade on this one? We look for a candle that will represent the 14-hour candle, and then I'm moving my vertical line to it. We have the high of New York Open. Now I do also identify the high of New York Open, and then here we are, we have that New York high, and then this how the market gave us that entry on Wednesday during the Asian session. Now we place our Fibonacci from the high of New York Open to the low of Tuesday's New York Open. And then now how do we take our trade? Remember, you could have taken the trade here, but it wasn't proper because it was within the high, the peak of your Fibonacci. Now we have the high of New York Open. Now let's see how it gave you an entry on that pair. We're looking for Tuesday's previous week. Here we are. We now have this high. Remember the high of New York Open. These two pins represent our high of New York Open. And then I place in my vertical line there, and I will also put in my Fibonacci on those two pins, as I did to represent, to identify the high of New York Open. Then my low was going to be placed on the low of Tuesday's New York Open. Now this is how it plays out, guys. You could have taken a trade on OTE, the sniper it gave you, and then it retraces back to give you the animation, the ammunition, then also gave you the tank, and then they completed that move. Now if we have to do it again on Wednesday, what we were supposed to do is to identify the high and the low of New York Open, And as we are going to do that, let me remove this structure. Now we have represented the Tuesday's high and low, and then I'll also do this one and the Wednesday. If you had to take a trade on Wednesday, let me zoom it again. We have identified this one, then it was Monday, Tuesday that we identified. Now we look for the Wednesday high and Wednesday's low. Here is the low of Wednesday. Now what do we look for? Let me switch to M15 so that we could have a clear picture on Wednesday's candle. Here we are. Then you can see we had those 2 pins on Wednesday. Then we place our vertical line according to the structure that we had. Let me remove this, but also identify the high of Wednesday, which is this one. You can even see with the blue tracer, and also the low of Wednesday, the previous week. Here's the low. Now we identify the 14th hour candle, 14-hour candle, to look for the high of New York Open, whereby we could identify the order block. Here's the order block, and then the high of New York Open. Here's the high of New York Open. Where do we put our Fibonacci? From the high to the low, because we are bearish. This is how I place my Fibonacci. And then what are we expecting? The market to retraces back to our entries, and then we had 2 pins on. If you could have taken a trade here, you could have had an entry, then they could come and tested your entry, but couldn't take your stop loss, and then you could have a first entry on snipers and your second entry on ammunition, and your stop loss was going to be safe. And also the market came to trade into the tank where to give you an entry, and then they give you an entry here. Now we have a cross, golden cross that keeps the momentum of the market to drop, and then we could have an entry there and our stop loss on ammunition. Then the market retraces back to the fair value gap, which by means you can also use it as your entry point level. And then let's see how it played out on this one, guys. Zoom out, and then this is wash, spin, and rinse. So we had a complete rinse, and as the market is also playing out on this one, guys, now. And then let me also put in my Fibonacci on the previous one that we had. This one, the high and the low, and then the market missed the one with just the few pips to complete the cycle of that rinse with 57 pips. Now we had 3 movement that moving on OTE areas or zones, guys. I hope you understand this method of trading. It's very easy, and just need to be patient and know what you are doing. And in profit, I will also share my results on this pair. I deposited $10 today in the morning, just before they gave us that retracement. Then I just decided to enter, and I'm in profit, guys. Hope you enjoy this week, guys. Love you a lot. Xolisile Mabani, Forex Academy, Hyperpart.